You gotta love the after the credits moment, finally getting introduced to Yor's brother, and then just to see the shocked reaction, because I'm firmly convinced, he asked this man to check in on who seemingly his sister is dating, believing there was no one, and then he comes in and just reveals that apparently she's married, and his entire world just got turned upside down. So I'm excited to finally be introduced to a character I've heard nothing but good things about, and I mean, seriously, what a way to end the episode after having such a wholesome, a little dramatic, but all things considered, just another episode to prove why, even though all three of them are kind of feeling like it's a fake family, but they're holding on to it for different reasons, like they are the perfect family. It's just they all come from such different walks of life, and they don't understand, as it stands right now anyway, that family's what you make it. It doesn't matter if it starts fake. The bonds they're clearly building, the little moments show us that even if someone like Lloyd is saying it's fake, it's for a mission, the little acts of kindness, like the fact that he says, oh, she's sleeping, so I'm going to tape her favorite show so she could watch it in the morning. He makes her that hot cocoa. The fact that he brings her to the bed, it's not just because he needs her healthy for the mission, is because he genuinely cares for her, even though, in terms of what he thinks at surface level, that everything is for the mission, you can tell he wants to be this girl's father for real, and the moment when he does finally accept that will be something for the ages, and for Yor as well, constantly giving this amazing advice and feeling like she's like this outsider, but even if she is this assassin, ultimately she is the mother in this household, and I love seeing the different dynamics and how they all have their flaws. They all have something that feels like it's holding them down. For Anya, it's her ability to read minds. It can cause her to go into a panic frenzy, and ultimately just it's something she feels like she can't admit to. Lloyd has his mission. That is the reason this whole family's together, and of course Yor is an assassin. But I love how, despite all the secrets that they're keeping, it never hinders them from showing their true colors in terms of what they want this to actually be, a true, genuine family, and that's what makes it so wholesome and amazing. And I love for an episode that really let Anya shine, more so than usual, and Anya's the biggest mood if you ask me. There's so many times you look at what she's doing, she doesn't even need to say anything, she just feels like it's the collective anime community, or at least it's how I feel. When she gets up in the morning, she's still in her nightie, she doesn't want to go to school. I was like, if that wasn't every one of us, I don't know what is. But just to see how she really did try her hardest to apologize to Damien, right? And I loved his introduction, because typically I don't like children characters in general, because I don't like children in general, I find them annoying, so in stories, it's even more so annoying when they're given a plot-specific role. But there's something about the way the characters are being portrayed here, whether it's Becky, who clearly is going to be like her best friend, who she calls Miss Rich Girl. Even though there's these archetypes surrounding their initial introduction, like the spoiled rich girl, who clearly only cares about wealth and power. No, as soon as she really got to know Anya, she realizes that, people who only look at things at surface value are pieces of shit, basically, and that's why she likes Anya. She may be a commoner from her point of view, but man, she packs a punch, and you want that punch to be by your side. Or in the case of Damien, who's very much growing a very huge crush on Anya, he's someone who clearly values, authority, and the fact that no one's ever really stood up to him, and you can tell that just from the shocked reaction of the punch to everything like that, but the fact that he can't recognize what's truly going on, and I think he's slowly starting to realize more of his own feelings, which is why he storms off. But the fact that, this girl can break through even the coldest of demeanors, and then in return, probably build a pretty cute relationship down the line, even if someone like Lloyd doesn't quite comprehend that him storming off isn't because it's ruined and Plan B is completely amiss. It's more so this man just has a really big crush on her, and he just can't really admit it right now. I just like the dynamic of the school a lot, and how just a couple of characters can really turn it into something memorable. There's so many great jokes. I love the fact that Becky, because Lloyd recognizes, because he's spying, making sure that she'll apologize, whether it's, burning the trees to say sorry, or, all the other numerous things that he does to make it seem like she'll recognize that she needs to apologize. I think my favorite one was the voice of God, because he was using a reflective mirror and she thought God was sending a message and got kind of paranoid because of that. But I love the fact that because Becky was always there, he separated her while they're having lunch. And then you get this quick moment where she's just getting upset, who the hell called me here? I was trying to eat my lunch, damn it. There's just a lot of really good subtle jokes. Sometimes they're in your face, like the punch last week. or other moments like the Becky moment, right? But it just feels like everyone has a purpose to play in this cast, and that's what makes it so fantastic. Like, this is a show that I feel like has more confidence than a lot of shows that have come out in recent years. And the fact that it can hook in so many people so quickly, like, it's one of those manga / anime that come around once every 5 years, it feels like. The thing that collectively, whether you like anime, you're neutral on anime, or maybe you've never heard of anime, it gets people to watch it because this is one of those shows that you could really show anyone, whether they've seen 1,000 anime or they've seen 0, and the general response is going to be the same because it hits you just so well, using the medium's best traits without really exposing any of the negative traits, right? Like, it's just a wholesome family with a violent tendency, and I'm really excited to see how Anya's mind reading is going to be explored at the school, because we're already getting a taste of it, right? When it comes to the social awkwardness of everything. Her sitting in that classroom, I mean, she's known as a violent person, and everyone's talking mad shit, whether out loud or in their heads, and that's going to cause her to go insane. Or in the case of when the family kind of had a bit of a falling out, right? You know, she was trying to read into her papa's head, and ultimately that was just a bunch of thoughts that threw her for a loop, and, you know, when she reads into mama's head, it's just breaking ginger men in pieces, and it's kind of violent. So there's a lot of ways her mind reading can aid her at school in the case of, like, getting test scores and stuff, but because there's so many voices, and if those voices are targeting her in a negative way, it's going to send her into a panic, and then in return that could get her another negative one of those stars, right? It was nice to see how they balanced the school though, because, you know, we already have established just from like a visual detail alone, but it was nice to get in the episode that some people do live on the campus, right, in terms of students, where she takes a school bus, so she still will have contact with the Forager family, but ultimately it is going to separate her more than what we're used to. And for the first episode really separating Anya from the family for more than a couple of seconds, I thought they did a hell of a good job with the production, the meme faces, the big mood factors, but ultimately just really seeing how she'll interact with these characters, both in a strong, straightforward way, and also a holy shit, she's going to blow the mission. But I like how they did end the episode with kind of like establishing Lloyd understanding that what he's doing and what he's trying to force on her, it's for his mission, and she needs to be able to feel confident in her own right before he can expect her to just know the common sense for him in terms of how to solve an equation and things like that. And I like how they really are becoming more of a family the more we watch, and I think this is without doubt the perfect time to introduce the brother, because even though they had a mini falling out in this episode, it feels like, you know, sometimes those confrontations can make us stronger in the long run, and these are one of those moments, if you ask me, given the fact that even Anya herself was studying without even being asked. Overall, I leave another episode of Spy Family very pleased. It's kind of crazy that we're already 7 episodes into this one. It really does feel like just a couple weeks back we started watching this amazing family. That's how you know you have a gem on your hands. So thoughts if you have any, let me know what you're feeling. Hoping to see maybe now that the brother is seemingly fully introduced. Let me know your feelings down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.